Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Pet Show. Is your Rottweiler acting a little ridiculous? Does your Tomcat have you totally terrified? Are your pugs making you punchy? They can do that, you know. Listen to me. If you love your dogs and really adore your cats, and I mean really truly want to understand them almost as well as they understand you, if you really want to try to figure out why your dog behaves a certain way or why your cat behaves a certain way, you know what to do, right? Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for the Pet Show. That's right, America and Canada's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those amazing little furries with you, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hello, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never, ever a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. We got to treat them on the same level that they treat us. So if you have a question about your dog or cat's behavior, it doesn't even have to be a question. Maybe you want to brag about your dog or cat, or tell a great story about a dog or cat that made you feel better, or help you get through a really difficult time. Great time to give me a call, whether they be jumping, chewing, barking, digging, scratching, litter box issues, whatever issues you may be having with your pets. You can always call me, shoot me an email, and we will try to resolve any issues you may be having with them. But once again, as I state every week, more likely any issues they're probably having with you. The phone number here at the Pet Show, by the way, 877-725-8255. You can always leave a message, and I will get to answer some of your calls. Or if you'd like to, and I mean, I got inundated this week. I mean, email after email, some real interesting emails from cats peeing to raccoons to every possible question you can imagine. Some really great emails we'll be going over a little bit later on the show. So if you want to send me an email, it's really easy now. We've made it so simple that even I can send myself an email. Here's what you do. Go to my website, thepetshow.com. All one word. Don't forget thepetshow.com. When you go there, right on the front page, you will see in big letters, Ask Warren. That's me. Click on it. Ask me whatever questions you want to ask me, and chances are I'll try to answer some on the show the following week. If not, I'll try to answer some personally right there. So again, go to the website, thepetshow.com, click on Ask Warren, and we'll try to get as many. Or you can always leave me a message at 877-725-8255. So, this has been an interesting week. I don't remember the last time I was sick, but I've been kind of flued out this week. In fact, so bad that I literally went to the doctor, which I never do. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. This flu just knocked the heck out of me. What really got to me is now that in fact, I was at my veterinary hospital the other day with my two guys, and everyone seems to be getting this flu, and we've had the flu shot. I've had the flu shot. I've always get the flu shot or the COVID shot because of my immune system. I have rheumatoid arthritis. You guys know that. And they say because I got the flu shot, even though the strain's different, the flu that I got was a lot lessened by the fact that I had the flu shot. Yeah, tell that to my body the way I felt. Again, that number, 877-725-8255. Really, really busy show today. I'm going to take it nice and slow. Some of the questions are absolutely amazing. I may share some stories with you guys as well. So we'll take a look at that. But let me tell you what I have planned for today's show. You cannot watch TV, listen to the radio, read a magazine without hearing the word Ozempic. You know, Ozempic, that's the shot everyone's taking, the weight loss drug for people. A lot of people consider it fabulous. Great idea. Some people are doing really well with it. So, with the obesity level for our dogs and cats now bypassing 60%, 60% of dogs and cats are now considered overweight or obese. The question came up, hey Warren, Could Ozempic be beneficial for overweight dogs and cats as well? It's a really interesting question. I had to do a lot of research because I didn't even know. So I'm going to take a look at that, whether Ozempic can be used for dogs or cats or not, what veterinarians are saying, what the veterinary administrators are saying. There's pros and cons, but you should never, ever, ever even consider using this unless you have real strong conversations with your vet. So Ozempic, 60, I didn't realize. I thought it was 50%, but over 60% of dogs and cats in the United States are overweight. And we know what that does. The same problems, diabetes and joint issues and all that stuff. So keeping your dogs and cats in good shape. In fact, I was so proud yesterday. My little Molly was a tendency to gain a pound or two, lost a half a pound, and then I just felt really, really good about that and gave her a big pat on the head and some extra carrots for dinner. Also coming in, this is the debate. Forget the politics. Forget the Bad Bunny nonsense. Forget that. Doesn't make any sense. This is the big debate in America. Whether cats should be kept indoors or whether cats should be allowed outdoors. I'm going to take a look, and we're going to delve into this. Coming up, how to get your cat to actually enjoy being inside. It's a lot safer. Years ago, I took a lot of flack from a lot of my listeners, especially a lot of my listeners in less suburban areas, where they, my cat goes outside and it's not fair to keep a cat inside. So we're going to take a close look at that. It's a big debate. Indoor cats, outdoor cats. Fascinating. Also coming up, if you're like me, or the majority of my listeners, that's you worry about your pet's mental and physical well-being. I'm constantly worrying about Molly and Willie. So I compiled a list today of your pet owners, that's you, pet owners' biggest worries and concerns about their dogs and cats. I think you'll find that interesting. Yeah, we're going to talk about peeing and pooping and chewing, all that stuff too as well. Anyway, plenty of time for your questions and comments. So if your dog is jumping, humping, or your cat woke you up at 3 a.m., peed on your bed, your dog's chewing your favorite shoes, barking in the middle of the night, dug up your backyard, suffering with separation anxiety, your cat's depressed, refuses to use the litter box, your dog chewed up your cell phone, I'm here to help you cope with your pet's problems, or more likely, I'm here to help your pets cope with your problems. So here's going to be the question of the day. Do you worry about your pet's emotions? Years ago, when I was doing, a lot more TV than I do, people would say, come on, dogs and cats, they don't have emotions. What are you worried about? Just as long as they eat, as long as they poop and pee, they're fine. So the question came up, do you worry about your dog or your cat's emotions? That coming up as well. Also, we're going to take a look at whether or not our dogs and our cats can become jealous. Can dogs and cats become jealous? We'll take a look at that. And some great emails coming up. I'm telling you, when I say everything from peeing cats to raccoons, it's going to be a really interesting show today. And as I said, I got some really great topics to talk about as well. Again, if you want to shoot me an email, you can do it 24/7. Just go to the website, thepetshow.com, click on Ask Warren, and we'll take a look at it from there. Let me do this, though. Before we get started, let me take a quick break. And when we come back, I may actually go to my first phone call coming in, because it's really interesting, and it's something that maybe a lot of people have confronted before. All of a sudden, you have a cat that's peeing on a new piece of furniture. So we're going to take a look at that. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. Quite honestly, I love my dogs a little bit more than I love you. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. One of the things I love doing on the show, and I've been talking to you guys on the air for almost 50 years between TV and radio, is I love answering questions that you send me, because very often people just can't get those answers. I don't want to sound egotistical, but sometimes the questions that you have, other people may not have the answers, but having spoken to so many tens of thousands of people, I have a resolution. So let's do this. Let's start off right off the bat. A cat peeing question. Let's go to my friend Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi. My name is Debbie, and my cat is, we got a new couch, and my cat is peeing on it. And it's just making things really, well, we got it because we're going to have some company in the near future. And my cat, she's, we don't know what to do about it, so we just kind of put her like in her cat, like in a carrier for a little while when we can't watch her, because otherwise she's just going to pee again. Can somebody call me back? I was hoping to ask a question today.
Well, here's the response, Debbie. Number one, don't blame the cat. This is not the cat's fault. It's a lot of people don't understand. Now, if you have something that's yours, you may claim it by putting your name on it, writing something on it. When you bring something new into an environment where a cat's been living for a long period of time, it throws their entire environment off. So how do cats claim territory? They claim territory by marking or urinating in that area. So I get it. You wanted a new couch. Excuse me. You got company coming in. We all want our house to look good, including me. And we don't want our cats peeing on our couch. I get it. Now, let me go backward a little bit, and then I'll go forward. First of all, from a psychological standpoint, the cat peed on the new couch, so now the cat is being kept in a carrier. From the cat's mind, why am I being punished? I just did what's instinctual for a cat to do. Something new comes into the house, I'm going to claim it. I've had so many listeners over the years that are bringing in new carpeting, a new couch, many different new items, a new chair. When possible, if you can get a swatch of the item that's going to be coming into the house and have the time to assimilate the cat to that scent, that could make all the difference in the world. That's number one. Number two, at this point, I guess your big question is, I love you, Warren, but resolve it. Stop the cat from peeing. First of all, this is not a cat problem. This is a person problem. What I would have been doing at this point is, from the minute you've given the cat the opportunity to smell it, I would be sitting on the couch. The cat would have some of his favorite treats on the couch. I would have the cat's toys on the couch. I would give the cat a massage on the couch. I would make that couch such a comfortable place for the cat that there's no need. He realizes it's already got his scent all over it. Actually, I would have taken a washcloth, rubbed it on the cat, and possibly rubbed that scent on the new couch as well. So before we blame the cat and put the cat in jail for something instinctively, the cat doing what cats do, let's go back a little bit. Number one, we have to make sure we get rid of the stain or the odor in the new couch. Some amazing enzymatic products on the market that you can use. That's really, really important, okay? Once you've cleaned that all up, I want you and the family, take the towel, rub it on the cat, rub it on the couch, toys, treats, everything. Spend as much time as you possibly can with the cat on the new couch. The more time you spend there, the better off you're going to be. So remember, this is not a cat problem. It's humans not understanding the behavior of their cat. Clean it up, spend more time there, get the cat out of the carrier, make sure you observe the cat when he's in that room with you. Next time you get a new piece of furniture, try to get the scent beforehand. That can make all the difference. Also, what I would recommend is perhaps using some of those plug-in pheromones around the house as well. So here's a perfect example where we tend to blame our cat or blame our dog for a big mistake that we made. How would you feel if something brand new came into your house all of a sudden and replaced something that you've been comfortable with for years? Don't take my recliner away. I'm not going to pee on it, but don't take my recliner away. So I'm glad we had the opportunity, Debbie, to talk about this, and I hope other people understand as well. That were so many trainers and behaviors in my profession. correct the cat, put the cat in a carrier, do this, do that. How about taking the time? We love our pets. They adore us. And looking at why the cat is doing it versus the fact of just trying to correct it. Great call, by the way, Debbie. I really appreciate it. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Quick break, then right back to some of your questions and comments. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. You know, I opened the show today by talking about the obesity factor with dogs and cats being over 60% in the U.S. And we hear a lot about Ozempic. You know, every commercial, every radio, every magazine article, if you're overweight, speak to your doctor, Ozempic, Ozempic, Ozempic. So the question came up, Warren, what about Ozempic for our pets? I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. I spent a lot of time putting this together because I don't want anyone making a mistake that be really harmful to the pet. So listen up. Of course, we want our cats and our dogs to be in good shape and not overweight, but listen to me. Ozempic itself is not approved or considered safe for pets, but drugs similar to Ozempic, GLP-1, are now being studied for veterinary weight management. In fact, early research shows potential, but nothing is ready for routine home use yet. So it's not ready and you shouldn't be using it. Here's what the current research says. Veterinary research are testing long-acting GLP-1 based implants for obese cats. These are not Ozempic, but they work on the same biological pathway that affects appetite and metabolism. Early trials involve 6-month under-the-skin capsules and show promising for helping overweight cats slim down. Now, what would be the advantage of this? I've spoken to, in fact, I told you, I was just at my vet the other day. A lot of cats that are overweight and have diabetic situations, this could be a potential help for them. So it's something they're working on, but it's not ready. As I said, pet obesity is widespread. 60% of cats and dogs are overweight. So they're exploring whether GLP drugs become a useful tool alongside diet and activity changes. Now listen to this. A pet-specific GLP implant is already in clinical trials for cats, aiming to safely reduce appetite and improve metabolic health. So, as I said, Ozempic is not approved for animals, and veterinary sources warn that it's not considered pet safe. Side effects in dogs can include vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, and potential dangerous drops in blood sugar. So, for those people say, oh, well, it works for me, I'm sure it'll work for my pet, maybe not a good idea. Now, for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know that the first book I wrote, I wish I had a copy, I have a copy here somewhere. It's back there somewhere. One of the first books I wrote was a book called Pet Aerobics, an exercise book for dogs and cats. If your dog or cat is healthy and they're overweight, exercise, diet's the best way to approach it. Just like with any human, the best way to lose weight is smaller amounts of food more frequently throughout the day and increase the exercise gradually and work right alongside your vet. So let's stay away from that quick cure, Ozempic works for people. No, it's not approved for pets and should not be used. There are other ways. You know, one of the things that we have is the ability to control our dog and our cat's food intake. So unless there's a medical issue that they're obese, if they are overweight, we're either feeding them too much or they're not getting enough exercise. I remember from 9th grade science that air doesn't have any calories, does it? Real important things. And remember, we love our dogs. Listen, I grew up in a Jewish household. I understand the concept of food being love. But as being a chubby child, I'm not anymore, but I was a chubby child, the same thing with our pets. If they're overweight, it's going to affect them. So make sure if you think that your dog or cat is overweight, you have that conversation with your veterinarian. I think it's really, really, really important. It's an interesting question. Also, coming up, I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it in a little while. But I got an interesting email from John. And basically, it was about whether or not, we're going to talk about it, whether or not dogs can be empathetic. Can dogs have empathy? You know, there are times in my life where people in my profession thought that I was absolutely crazy when I talked about empathy. But I'm going to talk about it in a little while. And when I do, I think you'll understand. You know, I've explained to all of you beforehand, I was married before. My first wife passed away at 36 years old. And at that point, when Faye passed away, I had 30 rescue dogs, 30 some odd rescue cats, chickens, ducks, 2 pigs over 900 pounds, toss in some snakes and a few other animals as well. So when my wife passed away, and it was really quick, it was only a few months from the diagnosis till the end, I started realizing, and something I'd known for years, but every time I talked about it, people thought I was nuts, whether it be Letterman or whether it be Regis, whether it be Kathy Lee, whoever. When I started talking about the fact that animals can have empathy, they thought that maybe I was being a little too anthropomorphic. So, it's a long email coming up. I'm going to share it maybe in the next break. It's a long email coming up. But I want you to understand it. People that listen to the show, they've lost a loved one. They've lost another pet in their household. And so that question came up. And I think you're going to find my response maybe a bit long. But I think it's real important. I think that the more people understand, this is my life. You know, for the years I studied in Europe and the thousands, my life has been trying to look at it from a dog or cat or any animal's point of view. So we're going to take a look at empathy. It was a fascinating question I got. I'll share that with you when we come back. Again, the phone number, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Now, and we are back on the Pet Show. You know, lots of times on the Pet Show, I'm sharing a lot of information about behavioralists, such jumping, humping, digging, scratching, peeing, poop, whatever. I got an email this week from John. Excuse me. Still getting over the flow. Anyway, it was an interesting email. Actually brought tears to my eyes, but I want to share it with you. I'll try to answer it. May take a couple of seconds, but listen to me carefully. Hey, Warren. My daughter's husband passed away in December. They have 2 large rescue dogs, a German Shepherd and a Black Lab. My question is about the dog's behavior since the passing. Both dogs show signs of missing him, and that doesn't surprise me at all. However, what was unexpected was the attention they're now giving to my daughter. It seems to me that they sense her loss and are reaching out to comfort her. I've always been told that dogs don't have a self-concept. But if that were true, they wouldn't be able to act towards her this way. Their behavior would be limited to exhibiting their own grief instead of being able to embrace her. Am I correct in this, or am I simply reading into this behavior something I hope to find there? They now take turns occupying a chair that previously was his only. They then stay alongside, they jump on the side of the bed, occupy the space where he would lie. When she's in a really miss my husband mood, they will come to her and put their chin on her leg. I'm here for you to look that only a beady-eyed dog can give. I catch your show every Saturday. I will listen carefully. So, you have to say about the possibility. She wants to know my feeling about empathy from these wonderful God-given companions. Wow. Wow. What an email. She lost her husband. The dogs are reacting. So, the question is, do dogs have empathy? We're going to take a look at that. I'd like to get your take on it as well. And by the way, if you're not following me on YouTube, please go to my YouTube channel. I share a lot of info there, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. It's free, subscribe. And I'm going to be doing a lot more work on YouTube. So go there, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. We're going to take a break in just a bit. When we come back, I'm going to respond to John's question. How deep, God, can you imagine taking the time to write this? The tears that he was going through. Tears, is it possible? Well, not only will I share my opinion, but as I just said, when I lost my first wife, Faye, in 1990, I've always known, but I totally realized that more than me comforting by being empathetic towards the animals, they were comforting me. Their empathy towards me. Now, I know that's going to sound eccentric to people. I know we're off on a little bit of a tangent today, but you know what? Every once in a while, we really, really need to do that. So let me do this. And I want to hear from you. So you can always send me an email. I said, go to the website, thepetshow.com. Don't forget thepetshow.com. Ask Warren. Click it right on the front page. Send me your thoughts about what we're talking about or a question. I'd love to hear from you. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to give you my opinion about why the dog's reacting this way and empathy as well. The phone number 877-725-8255. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. We are back on The Pet Show. So you heard that last email that I got from John. Let me respond a little bit to it. We'll go in depth a little further. I definitely want to get your response on my, go to thepetshow.com, shoot me, ask Warren. Do dogs have empathy? That's the question. A resounding yes. Dogs display empathy like behaviors, especially emotional contagion. All the research shows that dogs can catch human emotions. Meaning that our dogs and our cats mirror our emotional states. This is considered a foundational building block of empathy. Dogs can distinguish between positive and negative emotions in both humans and other dogs. They often respond with comforting or affiliate behaviors. Dogs mirror human and dog emotions and respond to distress. Having worked with some of the original dogs used for therapy, these dogs would go into a hospital, into a nursing home, or specifically where I was doing at the time. I was doing a lot of work with hospice situations. The dogs knew. They knew. And the empathy that these dogs showed to these people was amazing. So, John, yes, your dogs, your son-in-law's dogs, my grief goes out to your daughter for losing her husband. But I'm hoping the dogs are comforting her. And something that may not be said too often, but I'm going to say it. Part of her husband is those two dogs. Personality, emotions, and feelings. Part of that is her husband. As I said earlier, when I went through the loss of my first wife, Faye, I was nuts. If it was not for all the animals, considering how I felt and taking care of me, I might not be sitting here talking to you today. That's how depressed I was. Thank God that God was smart enough to realize that animals make all the difference in our lives. We're going to break. Got plenty of time. Some really good stuff. We're going to talk about cats inside or cats outside. The big debate. Davis, Lincoln, all over. Should cats be outside? Should cats be inside? We're going to take a look at that. And if you're like the majority of people, we're going to take a look at things that people worry about with their pets. Quick break, then right back at you. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to The Pet Show. And if you adore your dogs and adore your cats, you have come to the right place. You found me. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, America and Canada's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior. Got some interesting emails this week. I got an email I'll talk about a little bit later. Someone sent me about a new puppy they got that's biting them like crazy. They don't know what to do. They tried everything. Thank goodness, according to their email, they're doing everything wrong. I'll resolve that issue coming up in a little bit. But before we do that, over the years, I've been a strong advocate of keeping cats inside. And a lot of people would come after me. Well, it's not nice. It's not healthy. I'm a proponent in my cat book, How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Been a bestseller for years and years and years. I talk about the concept of teaching your cat to walk on a leash and a harness. Safe way to go outside most of the time. Or building an enclosure for your cat. You can go to Costco and buy a cat enclosure now. So listen to me carefully. Getting your cat to enjoy staying inside, which is the safe thing to do. I'm going to say it once. The average lifespan of an outdoor cat is 3 to 5 years. The average lifespan of an indoor cat is 14 to 16. Listen to me. In time, your cat will settle into the new routine. You won't need to throw a party or keep him distracted. However, it's still good to reward wanted behavior, like coming in when called or being relaxed when inside with something positive. I wrote this out for you because listen to me. There's another piece of this puzzle that's vital. Your cat's losing a lot of physical and mental enrichment by staying inside. You need to replace that good stuff to keep your cat's energy level under control. Meet the instinctual needs that they're no longer meeting on their own outside, like hunting, and keep their quality of life high. There are so many things you can do inside of your home. If you're a regular listener to the Pet Show, cardboard boxes, they're free. Change them every day. Every box you get from the supermarket smells different. You don't have to put one on top of the other. Make a duplex, a kitty condo, a triplex. Change them every day. Move the boxes around. Yes, you can keep the inside very, very stimulating for your cat. Now, mental enrichment is critical. There's food puzzles. There's all kinds of new toys out there for cats to play with. Now, keeping your cats inside is important in terms of longevity. But I know what you're saying. What about their mind? Take the time. I remember I talked about this a million times. You all know that I trained David Letterman's dogs. I did a show maybe 30 times. Both the morning show and the evening show. A lot of you don't remember the morning show. And he would think that I was a little eccentric. Imagine. And I said, you know, Dave, my cat walks on a leash and a harness. He says, you're crazy, Warren. Your cat can't walk on a leash and a harness, nor will he come when you call him. All right, Dave. Following week, I brought my cat, Maddie, which was a stray feral cat, on the air with me on a Letterman show. Walked right on the stage in a harness and a lead. Put him in a sit position. Called him to me. He came to me. Dave, shut up. Yes, cats are incredibly bright. Sometimes I think they're so smart they convinced us that they can't be trained. Now, you know I'm not pro circuses. I'm not pro lions and tigers in captivity. But when I was a kid, you'd see these lions and tigers and Gunther Gable Williams, you know, they jump through a hoop of fire, they'd sit up. These big cats, lions, tigers would respond. And you can't believe that your cat can be educated or trained? Read my book. Following it. Keeping your cat indoors is safe. There are pheromones. There are things to change. There are companion cats. So many things you can do. So here's my theory. I would rather have my cat for 12 to 14 years inside my home, but they walk on a leash, so they go outside and we can have a romp around. You can have an enclosure. As I said, you can go to Costco. I bet you if you go to Amazon.com, I don't know, but I bet you if you go to Amazon.com, you can actually buy online a cat enclosure. They have some that go right into the window as well. There's great TV programs for cats that you can watch as well. I was the chief psychologist for DogTV, so there's cat programs that they can understand also. So, yes, if you're asking me about keeping cats inside or outside, I prefer cats being kept inside, again, unless you've literally taken the time to teach them to go outside in a safe and sensible way. We got plenty of time. I got some really good emails coming up. I got this great email from Denise, and actually I know who these people are. They lost their dog a while ago, and they adopted a new puppy. And they're nuts. They love the puppy. These people are as eccentric, I'm telling you. They love their dog like no one else. But man, are they devastated by this new puppy. They are so being taken advantage of by this new puppy. So we're going to take a look at that and resolve issues for them. We also have Sue on the phone. Sue is calling with an older cat that's peeing as well. And I don't know if we got to it last week, but Steve had sent me an email, and he wanted to know about a Doberman that already changed, that all of a sudden changed their behavior. And I resolved that, but then he wanted to know about cannabis. Is it okay to use cannabis for your dog? If all of a sudden, will it calm them down? Will it make them feel better? So we're going to talk about that. We'll continue answering your questions, solve some peeing, jumping, humping, digging, all of those questions right here on the show. Reminder again, emails. I'm going to be responding a lot more to emails. So you can go to the website, just go to the website, thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com, all one word. Once you go there, you can't miss it. Big face, ask Warren, shoot me a question, or you can always leave a question at the phone number 877-725-8255. We are back on the Pet Show. Again, I'm shooting you this guy. A lot of people are saying, Warren, want to ask you? Ask me. Just go to the website, thepetshow.com. Don't forget that. And ask me. I'll respond, I promise. All right, so here's an email that I got. I'm sure a lot of people you have focused and gone through this came from my friends Denise and Frank. Not, hey, Warren. They're buttering me up. This was Dear Warren. Hope you're doing well. Frank and I have just adopted a beautiful Border Collie mix, 8 weeks, from a litter of 11 puppies. For the most part, things are going well, except the puppy biting. When I say biting, I mean she grabs our feet, my arms, which are full of cuts. I don't know how to redirect this behavior. I've tried everything from redirecting it with a toy to leaving her in a pen. I've already taught her to sit staying down when she is literally going crazy, biting me. It hurts. How can we correct this behavior quickly? I do not recall any of my dogs ever being this bad with biting. Many thanks, Frank and Denise. So, Frank and Denise, I got your email, and I'm responding. And I'm responding with my own response, and I'm going to put this up on my YouTube channel as well. So listen to me carefully. Number one, why do puppies bite? Puppies explore the world with their mouth, not their eyes, with their mouth. At this age, they're teething. Their mouth really, really, really hurts. They're puppies. They've been alive 11 weeks. They get overstimulated easy. Now, listen to me carefully. 11 puppies in a litter. Biting is the way they play with their litter mates. They taught them some rules, but humans need different rules. You don't have fur. The puppies do. The goal is not to punish the biting. It's to teach control and redirect the behavior. So number one, it's a puppy pulling your hand away, giving the puppy a toy. You're reinforcing the behavior. Overreacting by yelling or screaming. You're overstimulating the dog. Teach bite inhibition. I know it's a big word among trainers. It's what we call the ouch and freeze method. What do I mean by the ouch and freeze method? When you're playing with your puppy and he's biting on your hand, say ouch and freeze. This is how puppies learn how hard is too hard when the puppy bites your hand. Not yelling, not screaming, say a short, calm ouch. It's just a marker. Freeze your hand completely. Look away and then resume gentle play again. Now, teething. I don't care what you do. If your puppy's mouth hurts, they're going to teeth. So you got the option of the pain from the teething, the fact that you learned this behavior from the other puppies. Number two, take some of the puppy's favorite toys. I don't care what they are. Put them in the freezer. When the puppy becomes really mouthy, not when she's chewing on your hands, but before that, I don't want to give it to her as a reward. Give the puppy the frozen toys to play with. You might be saying, why? A lot of you have kids. When your kids were teething, the doctors would recommend a frozen teething ring to help eliminate the teething pain. The frozen pet toys do the same thing. So people say, well, can I take a washcloth? No. Make sure it's toys that you want your dog to ultimately play with. Otherwise, you're teaching bad behavior by teaching him it's okay to chew, for example, on a washcloth. And that's number one. I'm glad you started the training early, guys. The same intelligence it takes for a puppy to learn how to do something good or something bad. So, use that, the sit, the stay, the down. But again, make sure the teething or the biting is under control. Overstimulating, the ouch. The most important thing is remember now, to your puppy, you're nothing more than a big puppy. He's not doing anything wrong in his mind. You're yelling, no, stop it, knocking off, you hurt, daddy, blah, blah. Your puppy is doing what puppies do. That's how puppies play with each other. We need to differentiate that you are not a puppy, Frank and Denise, that you're human beings. The ouch and freeze method works. The frozen toys works. The basic training works. Putting him away when he's doing it teaches him absolutely nothing. It's what we call avoidance training. The dog is doing something wrong, put him in a cage, put him in a carrier. It's kind of what the people did, if you're listening earlier, with the cat that peed on their new couch. Rather than confront it and resolve it. Train, educate, but remember now, puppies easily get overstimulated. Make your training sessions fun. A minute, 2 minutes, sit, whatever it has to be. But pulling away, constantly pulling away, what you're doing is you're actually teaching the puppy to chew on you more because your hand becomes another puppy. There's nothing more basic that a behaviorist or a trainer can do than this. But here's the big mistake. And you said it right on your note, Frank. You said that you tried giving him a toy when he's doing it. If the puppy is biting on your hand and you take your hand away and you give him something he really enjoys, like a new toy, what did you just say to the puppy? Well, anytime you want a new toy to play with, come on over and chew Frank or Denise's hand. Patience. Now here's the deal. Follow my advice. It'll work for you in no time at all. A couple of glasses of Chardonnay might help too. It's a puppy, 11 weeks old. Count the days, 77 days, 70 days. How long has this puppy been alive? Frustration never resolves behavioral issues. Focus does. Phone number here, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. That is the way to get through. So that's why puppies bite. We got some great stuff coming up. We'll get them through that as well. And we're also going to talk about whether or not you worry about your dog's mental and physical well-being. Give me a call, 877-725-8255, or send me a question at thepetshow.com, Ask Warren. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. We got the best music in radio. We are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Some real important stuff coming up. I got an interesting question coming up in a little while. I don't train raccoons. I love raccoons, but I don't train them. And someone has a raccoon question for me, and I think you'll find it interesting, especially my more suburban, well, I was going to say rural, but raccoons are everywhere now. I think there are raccoons in New York City. Big raccoons, tough raccoons in New York City. So the question came up the other day. I'm going to be judging a contest. One of my local veterinarian, every year, what he does, he goes into the high schools and junior high schools and speaks to, and they have students write essays in terms of why they want to ultimately become veterinarians. And I'll be judging it and talking to these people. I'll give you more information on that in a couple of months down the road. So with the conversation, we're talking about what are the biggest worries that people have? Is it physical? Is it mental? I've compiled a list, and I'm going to share. These are pet parents, pet guardians, pet owners, whatever you want to call yourself. I've never been known to be politically correct. The biggest worries about their pets. Number one, people worry about how happy their dogs and cats are. I worry about it all the time. Their overall physical health, their weight, their dental ability, their mobility, their chronic conditions, 52%. 46% of pet owners are really concerned about diet and nutrition, what and how much they should feed and eat. It's a great question. You heard me talking about Ozempic earlier in the show. How do you know how much to feed? Every vet's going to give you a different amount. You have to work with them and kind of figure out and keep close tabs on your pet. What about anxiety or stress? That's where I come into play. Over the years, some of the biggest issues that can cause physical issues are dogs and cats that are anxiety-ridden. I talked about it last week, or overly stressed out. Are our dogs and cats getting enough exercise? Probably not. Do our dogs and cats feel lonely? I talked about this quite a while ago, and people thought, again, that maybe it was a little bit crazy for me to say that pets can feel lonely. Am I the only one that lives with dogs and cats that feel lonely? Can they be bored? Think it's easy living with us? If they benefit from a friend or another pet, a lot of people worry about that. If they're getting too much or enough sleep. You know, we love our dogs and we love our cats and we adore them. But we want to make sure that whatever life we give them, we only have them, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, 16 maybe if we're lucky. We want to make sure we give them the quality of life that they deserve. After all, they do it for us. So if you have any of these questions, there's some really great research. By the way, many of the topics you hear me talk about, I'll be posting, or already have posted hundreds, on my YouTube channel. Why do I talk about my YouTube channel so much? I can't possibly go into the depth here that I can there. So I want you to shoot over to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. It's free. No one makes any money there. I don't. You don't. But it gives me the opportunity to delve into a lot of the questions I don't get to answer here on the radio show. So simply go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Subscribe. It's free. And I think it can make a major difference in terms of your relationship with your pets. So let me do this. Talk a lot about dogs and a lot about cats. I got this email just the other day. And I kind of gotten this question before. No matter where you live, coyotes, raccoons, possum, other critters are going to be there. It's not just the suburban areas or the rural areas anymore. When I lived in Santa Monica before I moved to Arizona, in my backyard, there were coyotes, there were possum, there was skunk, they were all there. So the question came in from Howard. Warren, my wife is feeding wild raccoons. Is this a good idea? Boy, oh boy, Howard, do I have the answer for you. While feeding raccoons seems harmless, it isn't. By feeding them, they lose their natural caution. Raccoons are smart. They're opportunist foragers. When humans feed them, they quickly learn. This yard equals food. Humans, not dangerous. That loss of fear can lead to bold behavior, property damage, and conflicts with your own pets. They can become aggressive, not because they're mean, but because they start depending on the food source being your backyard. They expect food and may even approach people or dogs to get it. All that aside, all the reasons you shouldn't be doing it. Raccoons carry diseases like leptospirosis, roundworm, rare rabies, but that's rare, mange, and other things as well. So the bottom line is, raccoons have been around a long time before us. They're going to be around a long time after us. Have your wife stop feeding the raccoons in the backyard. There's plenty of food in the hood for them to eat, especially if you have pets, and especially because the raccoons become aggressive, and you're making it harder for the raccoons as well, because now they're becoming dependent on you. 877-725-8255, the phone number, or go to thepetshow.com, ask Warren, shoot me a question, and you'll hear me respond to it on the next show. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. Then we're going to take a call from someone who has an older cat that's peeing in the house. And then someone, can I talk about this, Phil? Can I talk about why dogs sniff crotches? Is that allowed on the air? No, I can talk. Okay, I was going to do it anyway, but I figured I'd run it by Phil, so if someone gets in trouble, it's not me, it's my producer. So let me do this. Let me take a quick break. We'll take that question, and we'll find out why dogs are so infatuated with human beings and their crotches. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. So, the question came up. I've talked about this before, but it keeps coming up. One of my friends said to me the other day, "Hey, Warren, I went to a friend's house. He had this really, really large blended breed dog. Hit me right in the crotch, and man, I doubled over. The pain was horrible." So he says, "Can you finally take the time to explain? There's not a man out there, many women out there that have not been doubled over by a dog taking their nose and putting it right where the sun don't shine." Anyway, listen. Why do dogs sniff crotches? 2 reasons. Gather information and get attention. They put their nose there, you know they're going to get attention. The main reason why dogs smell your crotch is simple. They're gathering an enormous amount of information about you. The smells associated with the human bodies are hard for dogs to ignore. The latest research indicates that dogs are able to determine listen to this. Dogs can determine our emotional state, our health status, our diet, even pick up on reproductive status like pregnant women, and more just by using their nose. And the crotch region is especially a good source of this. Now, a lot of you know that my specialty for years was teaching dogs in Europe to sniff out drugs and bombs and diseases, whatever. A dog's sense of smell is incredible. I'll give you an example. If you're cooking something in your kitchen and I walk in, I'm going to say, oh man, that smells really, really good. Smells like you're cooking lasagna. The dog comes into the kitchen. He smells the oregano, the garlic, the tomato, God knows whatever else you put, whatever else you put in lasagna. There's a lot of information. A lot of information there. That's why dogs do it. And the more you push them away, the worse it gets. So, basic training comes into play, but that's why they do it. It's not because they want to double you over. It's not because they want to do this. It's not because they want to do that. Basically, they just want to gather information. And it's amazing what information. You know, I trained the first dog, this got to be 1981, 1979, to sniff out seizures in a woman. She lived in Massachusetts. And it wasn't being done back then, but she would pass out on the street and people would think that she was a junkie or an alcoholic. So we trained the dog, and the dog was able to pick up prior to the chemical changes in her body that there's a seizure coming on. Wore a special vest, and if the woman happened to pass out, the dog I taught to stand by her, and on the vest were directions letting them know that, no, this is not alcohol, this is not drugs, this is an epileptic seizure. Here's the phone number. Here's what to do. Here's who to contact. So a dog's sense of smell is so incredible. So that's why I recommend to people, when you take your dog out for a walk and people rush their dog, oh, come on, let's go home. Let's go home. Let them sniff. Your dog's nose is our eyes. The world they see through their nose. Their olfactory is 100,000 times better than ours. They differentiate odors. Please, what we call a sniffcation. When you take your dog out, let them sniff away. And if you do that, maybe they won't want to sniff the crotches as much. 877-725-8255. Again, I'm doing a lot of work, so please, if you have a question, go to my website, thepetshow.com. I sell nothing there. Thepetshow.com. Just answer your questions and give free information. Ask Warren. There's a form. Shoot me a question, and perhaps I'll answer it on the following show. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break, and we're going to get back to a woman who has a question about an older cat with thyroids. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. We are back on The Pet Show. So I got a call this week. I'm going to take it right now. I don't want to run out of time. From Sue. Sue says she has a 13-year-old cat with thyroid and kidney issues that all of a sudden started peeing. What can she do? Here's my response. A 13-year-old cat with hyperthyroidism and kidney disease who is suddenly peeing all over is almost always signaling that something in their body or their environment has tipped out of balance. Both conditions directly affect thirst, urine volume, and litter box habits. So the behavior is a symptom, not a misbehavior. And that is the most important thing to know. Very often when we have a dog or a cat that all of a sudden changes behavior, we just assume they're misbehaving. The misbehavior is a symptom of something else. When a senior cat with these illnesses starts urinating outside the box, it usually means that the current treatment they're undergoing isn't fully controlling the thyroid or the kidneys, or the cat is feeling pain, nausea, or dehydration. So here's what I would recommend. You need to have a long conversation once again with your veterinarian, even going to a specialist if you have to. But let's not try to victimize. It's not that the cat is misbehaving. It's the symptom, not the misbehavior. Real interesting stuff. It's an interesting show today. A lot of good stuff coming up. And one of the things I like about this now, it gives me the opportunity, by having you guys email me, I'm able to go into a lot more depth. And there's two things that you can do. I know I'm pushing my YouTube channel. Let me explain something to you about my YouTube channel. I don't make a penny there. There's hundreds of videos. I make videos a couple of times a week when I have time. Some are short, some are long. You can watch this entire show there as well. Not today, but you can watch it another day. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go there. It's free. You're going to love it. YouTube.com/my name, Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. Subscribe. It's free. You'll get updates. Till next week, we're just about out of time. Till next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you. One between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. Thank you and bless you once again for listening to The Pet Show.